morning. We have come back with our next topic. This is the states of matter. In the previous chapter, we have discussed the characteristics of the matter and its definition. And we also have discussed that these states of matter, how these states of matter have been distinguished or separated by the characteristics of that matter. So the characteristics of the matter uh, separates the different states of the matter. The first state is the solid. What are the characteristics of these solids? First one characteristic is the fixed state. Every solid has a fixed state. The uh, second one is the fixed volume. Fixed shape and the fixed volume. Every solid material, every solid matter have these two characteristics, that they will be fixed in their shape and their volume. They have a fixed boundaries. The boundaries are limited of any solid matters. The solid particles do not have any space between them. That's why they have gained these three characteristics: the fixed shape, fixed volume, fixed boundaries. The force of attraction between the particles is high. The particles of the solid are attached to each other with a great force of attraction. That's why they have a fixed shape. Any type of any uh, extraordinary or a normal temperature or any normal thing cannot separate this force of attraction. You cannot separate a chair of wood or plastic by simply any force. You have to apply any special technique to change its shape. Second, next is the no compressibility. The compressibility of the solid matter is negligible. You cannot compress a wood, you cannot compress a chair, you cannot compress a book by your hand, you cannot compress this blackboard with your hand. The solid cannot attain any maximum force. They will rupture or the breakdown with the maximum force. If we are applying on it, it will break under the force, but it cannot change its shape. You cannot change the shape of a mirror by simply applying any force. You cannot change any shape of uh, any metal. It will rupture. Examples are the sugar crystals, salt crystals. You have seen cubes of the sugar, you have seen the crystals of the salt. Every minute particles of these sugar and salts crystals is a solid. Next state is the liquid state. Liquid is a little bit of less from the solids. They do not have any fixed shape. Liquid don't have any fixed shape. They will attain any type of shape in which they put up, in which container you put the liquid. It will gain that shape that has a fixed volume. The container, which type of the container, the size or the shape of the container, it will attain that volume. Liquid can change their shape. If you are put liquid into a glass, it will attain the shape of the glass. You put liquid in a some bowl, it will attain a shape of that bowl. Liquid particles have little bit of space between them rather than the solids. These little bit of space between these particles of the solid will makes less force of attraction between the solids. So the kinetic energy of the liquid particles as compared to the solid particles is a little bit high, and the compressibility of the solids is little bit more as compared to the solids. The solid liquid can be compressed. Example of the solid liquids are all type of the fluids which are in the liquid states. Next state is the Gas state also do not possesses such type of shape and volume type of characteristics like liquids. The particles of the gas have maximum space between them. The particles are very much separated from each other. Uh, they are randomly moved in a fashion. And the force of attraction, as particles of the gas have space between them, so they have less force of attraction with each other. They are not tightly bound to each other, so they do not have any fixed shape. Gases do not have any fixed shape. Their kinetic, as they are randomly moved, their kinetic energy is so high. The compressibility is high. We can compress the gases and fill into our requirement objects. You can see in our homes the LPG cylinders, CNG cylinders in vehicles, the gases are filled in that container by compressibility. When we compress the gases, it comes into the liquid state. In a container, gas always present in a liquid state, but when it comes out from that container, it comes in the form of the vapors or the gases. So this is the compressibility phenomena or the characteristics of gas, that it can be used in a container. Gas can change its state, as I discussed here, that if we compress or applying pressure on a gas particles, it comes to its state, comes to its liquid state, and further we can apply or more force or pressure on the liquid particles, it comes to the solid state, and if we condense it, it will comes to the solid state. So these are the examples that all type of gases are comes into the gas states, and these are the different characteristics of the states of the matter. And one thing, these states of the matter can be changed one to another, or revert back to one state to another as our requirements. So in this lecture we are discussing only the states of matter. You can see here these different characteristics, and I hope this lecture will help you. Thank you very much about this lecture, and we will now meet in the next lecture with the next topic. Thank you.